You've been standing before this choice for longer than you realize, turning it over quietly in your mind, waiting for the right feeling, as if clarity will one day arrive like light through the clouds. You tell yourself you're being careful, that you just need more time. But the truth beneath that is softer and harder to face. You're afraid of choosing wrong, afraid of closing doors that might never open again. You've tasted too many possibilities, you've seen too much of what could be, and now every path feels incomplete. Each one seems to promise something, yet none of them promise peace. And so you stay here, half in, half out, living in the spaces between decisions. Your body moves through days, but your heart waits at a crossroads that never ends. You wonder if this is wisdom, or hesitation wearing wisdom's mask. You tell yourself that patience is strength, but you can feel the weight of all the moments passing, the quiet ache of a life paused in mid-motion. There is no perfect choice waiting ahead, only the one that becomes right when you walk it. And that's what you've been resisting. Not the options, but the step. You don't need a sign. You don't need to be sure. You only need to be brave enough to move while still uncertain. Because sometimes, the only clarity life ever gives is the one that comes after you've already begun. The world made you believe that the more choices you have, the freer you are. That every door must be considered, every possibility explored. Because what if the next one is better than this? But freedom without direction doesn't feel like peace. It feels like drifting. You stand in the middle of abundance and feel a quiet kind of hunger. Because when everything is possible, you can no longer tell what's truly meant for you. The noise of choice becomes louder than your own intuition. You try to make sense of it. You make lists. You seek advice. You replay the same thoughts in new forms. But the more you analyze, the more fragile the answer becomes. It's like holding water in your hands. The tighter you grip, the faster it slips away. There's a secret reason indecision hurts so much. It's not laziness, not weakness. It's a heart that wants to do right, colliding with a mind that's terrified of regret. You want to honor the life ahead of you, and so you freeze, trying to find a choice pure enough to protect you from pain. But pain doesn't come from choosing wrong. It comes from never choosing at all. From standing at the edge of every possibility, too aware of what could be lost to ever feel what could be gained. You were never meant to see the whole map, only the next step. That's how life keeps you in conversation, offering one glimpse, one direction, one breath at a time. And if you wait until everything is certain, you'll spend your life mistaking stillness for safety. Clarity doesn't come before the choice, it comes because of it. Each decision you make, even the ones that scare you, teaches life how to meet you. And once you move, it moves too. You don't need to have it all figured out. You only need to stop worshipping the illusion of the perfect path. Because the moment you do, you'll begin to see that freedom was never about having every option. It was about trusting yourself enough to walk one. The moment you choose, something changes. Not out there, but inside you. It's as if the noise that's been echoing in your mind finally finds a direction to flow. And in that movement, peace begins to form. You might think clarity comes before choice, but it's the other way around. Clarity is what follows courage. It rises only when you step into the unknown and let life respond to you. That's the secret no one tells you. Life doesn't move for those who wait to be sure. it moves for those who begin. Because every step you take, no matter how uncertain, sends a signal into the field around you. I'm ready. And the world answers in kind. Doors that looked invisible begin to appear. People you never noticed before show up at just the right time. Coincidences, synchronicities, the quiet alignment of events. None of them are accidents. They are life's way of whispering, you're on the right track. You were never meant to find the perfect choice. You were meant to walk your choice into perfection. Every hesitation, every small risk, every failure along the way becomes part of the architecture that shapes you. The courage to move doesn't erase the fear, it walks beside it. It says, you can come with me, but you don't get to lead. And somewhere along the path, you realize fear never disappears, it just loses its authority. What you're really looking for isn't the right decision. It's the moment you stop fighting yourself long enough to move forward. The step doesn't need to be bold, it only needs to be honest. Because when you move with honesty, even the wrong path becomes right. You don't have to see the whole way ahead. You only need to see where your next breath leads. Every time you follow that small pull inside, you build trust, not in the world, but in yourself. You've been taught to search for the right choice, as if life were a test with hidden answers. But what if there are no right answers, only honest directions? Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Know where you can go is more peaceful than your own soul." You don't find that peace by solving every path. You find it by standing still long enough to hear what your soul is whispering beneath the noise. Eckhart Tolle said, "Don't seek happiness. If you seek it, you won't find it. Because seeking is the antithesis of happiness." It's the same with certainty. The more you chase it, the further it runs. Life reveals itself not to the one who demands, but to the one who listens. Every philosopher eventually reaches the same truth. Meaning is not discovered, it's created. You shape it by choosing, and then choosing again. That's how your life takes form. You don't sculpt the world by waiting for clarity. You sculpt it through the movement of your own hands. Viktor Frankl, who faced the darkest corners of human existence, wrote, "Life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by lack of meaning and purpose. The pain of indecision isn't from the uncertainty itself, it's from the moment you forget your power to create meaning wherever you stand." So when you face a crossroads, don't ask, "Which path is right?" Ask instead, "Which path allows me to grow? Which one brings me closer to truth?" Because that's what choice was meant for. Not perfection, but evolution. And once you decide, let the world rearrange itself around that choice. Stop reopening the door just to see what else could have been. Trust that this path, with all its flaws, is where you were meant to practice your becoming. As Lao Tzu wrote, "The journey of 1,000 miles begins beneath your feet." Not in the future, not in certainty, just here, in this imperfect sacred step you're about to take. So how do you live this? How do you stop circling around the same thoughts and finally move? It begins with attention. Not on the noise of all the paths ahead, but on the space you stand in now. Ask yourself one honest question. What can I do with what I have today? And then do just that, nothing more, nothing less. That single act breaks the paralysis. When you face a choice and your mind starts racing, don't rush to solve it. Listen to your body instead. Notice the pull that feels like relief, not the one that sounds like obligation. That's the difference between fear and intuition. One shrinks your world, the other opens it. Then commit, not forever, just for now. Give your choice a chance to teach you something, because every decision is a teacher. And the only way to learn the lesson is to show up long enough to hear it. If clarity still doesn't come, practice stillness. Sit with the uncertainty instead of wrestling it. Name what you can control and what you can't. Let the rest belong to life. The moment you stop grasping, space appears for guidance to enter. Each day, choose one small thing you'll follow through with. Something that reflects who you want to become, not who you've been. Let that be your quiet declaration. I am moving, even when you don't know where it leads. And when doubt returns, because it will, remember, the path doesn't reveal itself to the hesitant, it reveals itself to the walker. So take the step, not because you're sure, but because staying still costs more than moving ever will. Every life comes to this moment again and again. The quiet space between one path and another. And every time, the mind grows restless, trying to find the version of the future that will hurt least. But maybe life was never asking you to predict it. Maybe it was asking you to meet it, to show up, heart first, and let the next chapter unfold from presence, not from fear. You've carried this question for so long. What if I choose wrong? But there are no wrong choices when the choice is honest. Every path you walk with awareness brings you closer to yourself. You are not late. You are not lost. You are standing in the exact place where your next becoming begins. And when you finally take that step, you'll see the world was waiting for you all along. The perfect path isn't found. It's made by the quiet courage to begin, by the gentleness to keep going, and by the trust that what's meant for you can only meet you when you move. So take the step, not because it's certain, but because your life has been waiting for the sound of your footsteps.